Have you ever observed a skid steer in action? You've probably noticed how its wheels slide along the ground, creating noise and leaving black marks on the pavement. You've likely wondered whether this is the result of operator error or a design flaw. Don't worry, in this video we will explain why this happens, and you will also learn how other systems work, such as the arm lift bucket operation, the machine's functionality, and the attachments this versatile equipment can carry. Let's dive in. So first, let's take a look at its traction system. What's interesting about this equipment is that it doesn't have mechanical parts to transfer the engine power to the wheels, such as a drive shaft, differential, or gearbox. So how does it move? The answer is simple. Everything works hydraulically. The diesel engine is connected to two groups of hydraulic pumps. The first group is responsible for moving the machine, meaning it drives the wheels. But how does it do this? It uses two axial piston pumps, each of which sends oil to a hydraulic motor. This oil doesn't return to the tank, but instead circulates back to the pump, creating a closed circuit known as a hydrostatic system. These hydraulic motors are located on each side of the machine, and chains are used to transfer the movement from the motor to the wheels. One chain for the front wheels and another for the rear ones. This system is called tandem and ensures that both wheels receive the same movement. This gives us a 4x4 drive. That's why it always seems like the skid steer drags its tires on the ground, as it doesn't have a conventional steering system or a turning angle for its wheels. This causes accelerated tire wear and significant energy loss. However, this hydrostatic system is ideal for maximizing the equipment's potential, allowing for very tight turns and even counter-rotations. For example, when the wheels turn, the left wheels remain fixed while the right wheels turn forward, which makes it perfect for working in tight spaces. Thanks to this, the skid steer becomes an essential tool in sectors like construction, forestry, and many others. Up to this point, everything seems to be working correctly, but like in any complex system, problems can arise. In this case, one of the main challenges is the constant circulation of oil between the hydraulic pump and the motor. Although necessary for the machine's operation, this process generates a significant amount of heat. If this heat is not properly dissipated, it can cause the hydraulic system to overheat, which could lead to poor performance, mechanical failures, or even permanent damage to the components. So how is this high temperature managed to prevent overheating? The key solution is the pressure relief valve. This valve's job is to divert part of the hot oil circulating within the circuit to the radiator, where it cools down before being returned to the system. This ensures that the oil temperature remains at appropriate levels for efficient machine operation. However, because the hydraulic system is closed, this creates oil loss, which must be compensated in order to maintain constant pressure in the circuit. To do this, a charge pump is used, which provides fresh oil at low pressure to the hydraulic circuit. This ensures that the entire system continues functioning smoothly with the correct pressure and without the risk of the oil becoming too hot. On the other hand, regarding the lifting and tipping system, the second group of hydraulic pumps is responsible for controlling the arm and bucket. Unlike the traction system, which is a closed circuit, this system operates with an open circuit. And this means that the oil doesn't circulate in a closed loop between the pump and the motors. Instead, it has continuous flow to and from the hydraulic tank. The oil from the pump is first directed to a control valve, which acts as a regulator, allowing the operator to decide via the joystick how much oil to send depending on the operation to be performed. This precise control allows the operator to move the arm and bucket with complete accuracy. Once the oil has done its job in the hydraulic cylinders to lift, move, or dump the bucket, it returns to the tank and the cycle repeats. Now let's talk about the braking system. In a skid steer, conventional service brakes are not required, as in other vehicles. Why? Because instead of traditional brakes, the machine uses a system based on hydrostatic motors. When the operator releases the travel joystick, the hydraulic motors stop immediately. This cutoff in hydraulic flow causes the machine to stop moving, so no additional brakes are needed to stop the machine. However, for safety when the machine is parked, the skid steer does have a parking brake system. This brake system is activated by springs and keeps the brakes engaged to prevent the machine from moving when it is stationary. To release the brake, controlled hydraulic pressure is required, which is triggered by a solenoid in the parking switch located in the operator's cabin. Let's now move on to the topic of the equipment's control and operation. The skid steer is designed to be operated with precision, and the left joystick plays a crucial role in this. This joystick is responsible for controlling the direction of the machine. It allows you to move forward, reverse, turn, and most impressively, perform counter rotations. This means that the operator has full control over the machine's movement, even in tight spaces. Additionally, the left joystick also allows you to raise or lower the arm and operate the bucket, push forward to lower and pull back to raise, or move left and right to control the bucket based on the task requirements. For safety reasons, the skid steer is equipped with several systems that ensure it can only be operated safely. One of these systems is the operator presence sensor, which detects whether the operator is properly seated in the seat. This sensor prevents the machine from starting if it doesn't detect the operator, helping to prevent accidents. The machine also features a safety bar, which must be lowered and placed around the operator before starting the work. This mechanism is essential to ensure the operator is protected during operation. Furthermore, there is a small safety pin on the cabin door, which locks the hydraulic system if the door is open. This prevents the machine from operating if safety conditions are not met. Finally, to start the machine safely, it is mandatory for the parking brake to be engaged. This system ensures that the machine will not move unexpectedly while the operator prepares to begin work, adding an extra layer of safety before starting the skid steer. Did you know that there are also skid steers with tracks instead of wheels? These models are designed for terrains where more traction is needed. Tracks distribute the weight evenly, making it easier to operate in uneven or muddy terrain, preventing the machine from sinking. There are also models that use rubber tracks to simulate a crawler system, a more economical but functional option. When working on sloped terrain, it is crucial to be cautious, especially when descending in reverse. The counterweight can be a risk factor because, while it helps with stability when loading, it won't always be in our favor, and accidents can occur if caution is not taken. The skid steer is also incredibly versatile when it comes to attachments. There are more than 50 types of attachments available, such as hydraulic breakers, asphalt grinders, pallet forks, and multi-purpose clamps. The best part is that the attachments are easily connected thanks to quick couplers on the hydraulic hoses, which greatly simplify the process of connecting and disconnecting them. The popularity of this equipment is so great that large-scale competitions are even held where operators showcase their skills in stunts and driving. This is truly fascinating. Did you already know how a skid steer works and about its various attachments? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you learned something new, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you enjoy this content. See you next time.